Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Banished in Hellfire. That reminded me of what my thought was that might happen in this episode. Okay, I thought Yuriana was gonna talk, but she's not. Okay, Banished to Hellfire. So they're going to stop a squabble, essentially. Oh no, it's not a squabble. It was Ramua. It was someone actually dangerous that they're gonna go and try and stop, so. Let's see. I wanted to see who she was talking to. Oh, okay. I was trying to remember why she was in the forest. She went for a walk, I believe, and then Pash painted a tattoo on her, essentially. I think he called it a good luck charm for her. He was repainting his own tattoo, and he gave her one as well, which I thought was really adorable. But now, I don't know if, I don't think Ramo is invading, but there's something to do with Ramo that they're going to go stop. And it says Banished in Hellfire, and I'm guessing. I'm going to guess that maybe she gets captured. If she doesn't, I'm going to be disappointed, actually. Because I want Pash to go save her. Like, he said he would go save her if that ever happened, and I want to see it in action. Let me find Pash's walkthrough real quick. Next morning, Yuriana and I arrived at the courtyard a bit early, finding only a few students already there.
Yeah, ohayo.
Good morning.
いよいよだね。
Yes.
緊張しすぎも良くない。だが、緊張感が抜け落ちてもダメだ。わかるね。
Yes, I understand.
君の配属については、正直昨夜かなり揉めたのだが。
But
やはり大事をとって、今回は特別編成の第5隊に配属しようと思う。
this specially formed, huh? No, right? Specially formed.
説明は聞いていると思うが、今回は通常の鎮圧で終わらない可能性もある。
I think in the first company is like the tough people. It has Abel, Lustin, Pash. Well, at least Pash was there. And Abel's route.
そのため、通常は模擬戦の上位生徒を集めている第1隊の生徒をそれぞれ分け、2隊以降の指揮を取ってもらうことにした。
Well, see, there you go. But now they're committing other companies, huh? Instructor was implying the grave risk this mission had.
第2隊をラスティンに、第3隊をアサカに、第4隊をリシャールに、そして第5隊をパッシュが指揮する。
And obviously, Abel is the first company, right? Like, Pash is going to be her commander. I just know it.
ユリアナ、君はそのまま第1隊で。
はい。
全員集まったら再度通達があると思うが、今回は指揮に関しても通常とは少し異なる。総指揮がアベルであることに変わりはないが、状況に応じてそれぞれの隊長が各自の判断で動くことを許可する。それだけ現場の状況が予測できないということだ。
I understand.
その上で第5隊は基本的に後方支援をする隊で比較的安全だろうと判断した。
なるほど。
ただこれもあくまでも現状の判断だ。状況によっては第1隊の方に上がってもらうこともあるかもしれない。戦況は予測できないものだからね。
I understand.
大丈夫です。お任せください。あ、でも。そういえばパッシュってもしかして指揮初めてじゃないですか？大丈夫でしょうか？彼女を任せて。
Leave her to him.
そこが迷ったところなんだが。
Instructor Alias looked around at the students. Pash was not here yet.
私たちとしてもパッシュ本人の戦闘能力を決して低く見ているわけではないんだ。ただ彼の不調は精神的なものによるところが大きいと考えている。今回の任務で自信をつけてほしい。
First we're gonna say, will everything be okay? It's not that I doubt Pash, but will everything really be okay? He seemed troubled by something, so...
やはり不安かい。パッシュが悩んでいることはこちらも知っている。だからこそ今回の任務を突破口にしてほしいんだ。
I understand.
私は後から合流するダグローと正規軍と共に基地にいる。二人とも無事に戻ってきなさい。
はい。
Yes, sir. Okay, don't do what I did in the last video that I did of the other game and not go back and do this until like 45 minutes in.
ただ彼の不調は精神的なものによるところが大きいと考えている。今回の任務で自信をつけてほしい。
Yes, you will say, I will be there to support him. I'll be there to support him.
君ならそう言ってくれると思っていたよ。私は後から合流するダグローと正規軍と共に基地にいる。二人とも無事に戻ってきなさい。
はい。
Yes, sir. That was a lot shorter. I got in a carriage much larger than those I traveled to Ozil and Dagroth, and with that, I was off to my first battlefield. Nirvana was seriously tuning her spear. The other students in the carriage were either attending to their weapons or sleeping. Pash had his head down by the window side. He usually chatted with his roommate Leston or friend Asuka. Whether in the cafeteria or the classroom, he was seldom alone. I couldn't take my eyes off of him. At first I assumed he was silent because his friends were in a different carriage. But the more I watched, the more I noticed him sighing and turning away as if trying to detach himself. Maybe he's nervous since he's commanding a company for the first time. Or could it be about the protection? Pash. I wasn't sure if I should encourage him cheerfully or pretend I didn't notice. I can only hope Pash would perform well. Then again, I'm in no position to worry about others. My first battlefield. I must do my best with this cursed sword. So nervous. As I stepped down from the carriage, a familiar chilling sound enveloped me. The clanging of swords and spears, cries, screams, and death rattles.
お、やってるやってる。
Opening ceremony.
おい。ごめんごめん。
They were used to this. By day's end, I'd also start to see these horrific sounds and sights just as normal.
よし、やめる。頼んだぞ。
はい。
With that brief exchange, the other students caught in the next order and formed up.
お前たちも説明を受けたと思うが、今回の任務は特別編成で動く。第1と第2は正面、第3は左翼、第4は右翼に回れ。第5は左右の戦況を確認しながら援護。新座、ルアントもまだ正規軍ができて間もなく、兵力は低いと予想される。本日中の速やかな鎮圧を目標とする。行くぞ。よーし、俺たちも行くぞ。
Yeah. Pash called out with the usual cheer in his voice as he dashed forward. I summoned the cursed sword and followed him, feeling a bit relieved.
本日一番もらい。
Why does he sound proud of that? The soldiers from the two nations were already near before I noticed. Following Leston's strike, the sound of battle erupted around us. Abel's group was ahead of us, but they quickly scattered.
大丈夫か？
Of course. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared, but I also was no longer alone. Everyone was with me. Cursed sword, please lend me your strength, just like before. Oh my goodness, it listened. An Azura light exploded before me and I sighed in relief. I knew I shouldn't rely on it too much, but the light was reassuring.
よし、これでもう最強。
どうもな、頑張るよ。
うわ、初めて見た。すっげえな。あんがとう。
As the others charged ahead, the flag of Sinza was in sight. I took a deep breath, I gripped the cursed sword, and I followed their lead.
貴様が魔剣の小娘か。この俺が撃ってやるぞ。
Goodness. I stood firm and deflected the man's sword.
この
I can win. After the second strike, I knew I would win. I kept up my guard, and handling the impacts was easy, as we were told. These foes weren't experienced in battle. They weren't suppressing external enemies, so we avoided killing as much as possible. Except for Lustin, he's like, I got the first kill. This is it. I swung my cursed sword down at his right arm. Blood. Warm blood splattered onto my shoulder. The distinct sensation of the rest smell was dizzying.
くそ。
His sword fell as blood poured from his arm. He couldn't fight anymore. I rushed to the next opponent. Another and another, I kept fighting. Soon, all fear vanished and my mind cleared. Though it was just a suppression, they would still attack me. I had to fight or I would die. I had to point my blade at them to survive. The smell of blood no longer bothered me. I simply continued to wield my sword. I wanted to survive and return safely to Nirvana with everyone. That was my only motivation now. I truly believed I would live together with everyone. This is like foreshadowing her imminent capture or something. It's foreshadowing something bad. You truly believed. Past tense. That we'd all go home without a single loss until the moment that they arrived. Oh my goodness, who is they? Rama? Suddenly I heard an ominous horn sound.
なんだ。まだ終わりじゃないよな。
Though we had the upper hand, fierce battles were still raging everywhere. It's not over, right? When the horn sounded again, most students stopped fighting, and then...
ロムアの旗だ。
I knew it. He wasn't close, but I could hear Abel's sharp voice clearly, so did everyone else.
おいおい。
The student who was ahead stared into the forest. Abel and Leston took combat much more seriously than we did. They were always focused, and yet they were looking at the forest in disbelief. I cautiously looked up. Oh. As twilight approached, I saw it clearly, that ominous sight. No.
あの紋章。
I remember seeing Romulo's flag in class. Back then I thought it was a distant country with a very lavish black and silver emblem.
嘘でしょ。
The cavalry adorned with that extravagant insignia was staring directly at us.
やっぱり来たか。でも俺たちは絶対に負けないからな。
Pash's declaration snapped me back to reality. Now was not the time for fear. Instructor Leonidas had predicted that Romulo might take advantage of the chaos to strike. I tried my best to remain calm.
罠だ。
Just as I gripped my sword to stay calm, Abel's shout stopped everyone in their tracks. I looked ahead at Abel's company and saw something shocking. Oh? Like seconds ago, the Shinza and the Luan armies were clashing, and we'd been trying to suppress them. But now both armies had turned to face us. Oh my goodness, they're on their side. Oh no.
これはまさか。シンザもルアンもすでにロムアの配下になっているということですか。 ロムアが。
Roma cavalry was thundering down the hill toward us at a terrific speed. terrific. Terrifying speed.
アベル、冷静でいろよ。俺たちなら抜けられる可能性は十分ある。はい。
Abel's voice betrayed no nervousness. I was amazed at his strength, maintaining morale even in such dire circumstances.
よし、全軍で正面突破する。南の街道まで出れば、こちらに向かっているはずのダグローと赤軍と合流できるはずだ。それまで全力で戦い抜け。第1隊から第5隊まで全て渋滞で突撃。絶対に隊形を崩すな。
Abel barked out orders, rallying all the scattered students. We needed to break through the enemy line. Our mission objective was no longer suppression, it was survival, nothing else.
行くぞ。必ず全員で帰還するぞ。
よし、出るか。
絶対に抜けましょう。
This is much more climactic than any other battle so far. Even the one in Abel's where they fight Ramua, it's like, ugh. Like, it was over so fast. It was because Abel was like, I'll cut you all down. Everyone roared, boosting their spirits as they charged forward. Abel at the front was already taking hits from the enemy. Wilhelm, please wake up. I wanted his power now, the kind that could help others. Wilhelm. There was no reply. The cursed sword remained unresponsive too. Why? He's like... he always wakes up when he wants to challenge like a specific person, like Abel. But when there's an army to cut down, he's like, nah, I'm good. Then I just have to still myself and started to run forward.
おい！俺たちは後ろから抜けるぞ！
Huh?
アベルたちが正面に突っ込んでるってことは、向こうはそっちに集中するってことだ。俺たちの隊はその隙に後ろに回り込んで逆に挟み撃ちにすればいい。
Abel said don't break formation.
敵の裏をかくのが大事なんだよ。こういうのは。
I get that, but Abel told us to.
説明聞いたろ。今回はそれぞれの隊長の判断が許されてる。しかも状況は完全に想定外。
Nothing bad's gonna happen. He's gonna blame himself.
とにかく勝つことの方が大事だって。
I know, but...
ほら、あっち見ろ。後ろガラ空きだろ。あれで俺たちが後ろから攻めれば、向こうだってそう崩れた。
I like to saw that Pash was right. The enemy's rear did seem wide open. The soldiers of Sinza, Luan, and Ramu were trying to surround us. But they were focused on Abel's company, and ambush from behind, as Pash suggested, could catch them off guard. But that was only if they didn't notice.
よし、行くぞみんな。
Pash was already running towards the rear. Is this really going to work out? Following Abel or Pash's orders might not guarantee victory either way. I looked at our enemies. They hadn't noticed us yet. For better or worse, Abel and Lester were commanding all the attention at the front. It might actually work.
ほら、来いよ。
Pash called out to me. Yeah. I gripped my sword tighter and rushed after Pash.
ちょっと君たちどこに行くんですか？
Oh. I couldn't yell back, so I gestured with my eyes towards the enemy's rear. I hoped Asuka would catch on quickly, but...
ダメですよそんなこと。
Uh-oh. Asuka's sharp cry made me pause. But Pash and the others were already weaving through the enemy lines. We'll be fine. I reassured Asuka and picked up my pace. Most of the enemies hadn't noticed us yet. Those who did were too disorganized to counter and went after Abel's company. They weren't targeting me, so perhaps they didn't know my link to the cursed sword. It'll be fine. Famous last words. We sneak up behind them. It wasn't like I wanted to be a hero, but wielding the cursed sword came with its pressures to perform well. I checked on the enemies again. Their focus remained fixed on Abel. There's like going to be some assassin spy come out of the woodworks. Okay, this should...
おい！
I know, right? You're breaking formation. Instructor Leonis' shout, much louder than Asuka's, made my entire body tense up. He looked at me with raging eyes. Oh. He didn't say anything, but he was clearly trying to stop me. He's telling me not to go. Then I guess I shouldn't. But everyone else has already gone. Wait, maybe I should stop them. My goodness. The inner panic is real. In my panic, I tried to think clearly. I could still catch up to them and then regroup with Abel later. I'll bring them back. I shouted to the instructor and Asuka, who crossed the swords with the enemy behind him. Now nearly alone, I dashed forward to catch up to Pash and the others. All I was focused on was what lay ahead. Alone? You're going to get taken. That's why I didn't notice the presence of death itself.
いたぞ。あれがおそらく魔剣の小娘だ。
Igor, I know you. Okay. I think I said this in the beginning, but I'm not withholding any spoilers for the routes I've already done. Igor was mentioned in Abel's route. Igor was the one who knew that Abel was the king's son, King of Romo's son. And he wanted him to come back and essentially take up the throne, eventually be the successor. And Abel's like, no. So Abel joined the school so he could be better and then kill his father. But of course he would know. I mean, he's like, what? He's probably higher ranking in Rama. And then you're about to be taken. I couldn't believe my ears. Just seconds ago I had been invisible. And unfortunately that man knew who I was. By the way, did you notice Igor, the Rama Empire, walking along? What? Walking along, okay. Oh. So you don't recognize him yet. The one who led the way was their lieutenant, Igor. Igor.
運が良かったな。まさか本当に出会えるとは。
I wonder who she was thinking of, whose quote she was thinking of.
絶対に殺すな。生きたまま捕らえ、ロジオン様に捧げる。
I didn't mishear his voice. There was no mistaking it. The man on the jet black horse staring at me coldly was the man from Azul's capital. Oh? Is he one of the spies? I have to run. I had no idea what was happening, but I wasn't sure how much of this was planned. This could have been set up just to trap me. Because we can't see death itself, we never know when it's already upon us. McKay's words echoed in my mind.
おい！可能な限り傷もつけるな。
He sounded as if he spotted a rare animal. Igor's cavalry charged straight at me.
Run!
Pash. Pash noticed that Igor's cavalry was after me.
くしょ、ロムアのやつ、何やってんだよ。
He disobeyed.
やっぱり狙いは魔剣かよ。大丈夫だ、絶対助けるからな。
Pash. Pash's company ran towards me. They initially aimed for a pincer attack, but now they veered south. What do I do? What could I have done in that moment? Don't come is dangerous. I might have said that if I were an ordinary girl. But I wasn't. Ramiro should never possess the cursed sword. I hated the idea of being protected. But realistically, I needed help now. Wilhelm, wake up. I shouted and ran. Please, Wilhelm, just for a moment. Please, save everyone. Silence was the only reply. I held back tears as I desperately ran. Being captured or killed was not an option. I had to run. I had to survive. Wilhelm, please wake.
はい。うっせえな。
Like, shut up. Finally. My goodness. He like sleeps during every battle. I couldn't see him, but I could hear his voice inside my head. Wilhelm, you're awake.
たまたまな。
Whatever, please help me.
力を貸せって。じゃあ逃げてないで戦えよ。そうしたら余裕でぶちのめしてやるよ。
There we go. We finally get to see him in action. That may be true, but Wilhelm's words made me freeze.
バカ、何やってんだよ。逃げるぞ。
Do it. Do it. My body jolted when I heard Pash, who had sprinted up to me.
森を抜けて街道に出る。 もうアベルたちに合流するのは無理だ。
I want to see the cursor in action. Dang it. What? I looked around and found that Abel's company was not far away from us. Did they do this on purpose? No, that can't be.
おい逃がすな
Ah,
ほら逃げるぞ。
Pash pushed my back, urging me to run.
なんだよ、やらねえのかよ。
Wait, I'll do it later. You'll do it later.
もう少し今やれよ、今。
I know, like, what are you waiting for? Pash, I'll fight with the cursed sword.
はあ、バカ言ってんなよ。不安定なんだろ。
It's fine, Wilhelm's awake right now.
あのな、いくら魔剣が強くたって騎馬隊の馬に人間が勝てるわけないだろう。
Huh?
踏み殺されたらそこで終わりだろう。ほら走れ。
Most of the Nirvana students were infantry, and the cavalry numbered under 50. The path through the forest was a sharp slope, so we managed to get away in time, but they could catch up once they passed that point. Pash was right. With that many horses after us, I'd be trampled before using the sword. Oh my goodness, just do it. No, not now. Calm down, I must. Hearing the ominous bell in my head, all the fear I had forgotten came rushing back. Everyone. A new confusion was setting in. Despite that awareness, I couldn't stop it. I knew I had to stay calm, but it felt like I was losing control. Anxiety and panic overtook me, and I started to tremble. I have to run. I have to get away. Fear struck as I doubted Wilhelm and the cursed sword. The sounds of the hooves approaching terrified me. No. Before I knew it, I was crying as I ran. Oh, fine, whatever.
こっちだ。ここを突っ切れば街道に出るんだ。
Eventually, this cursed sword will actually do something. Yeah. We ran through the underbrush desperately. Nobody spoke, fighting back with the cursed sword. Our only thought was to reach the Diagroth army awaiting us ahead. Water sounds. Is that a river? The air was damp and cold, perhaps due to the night or nearby river. Chill made running more exhausting than when we ran laps at Nirvana.
頑張れみんな。この先の橋を渡るぞ。
おい無事か。
よかった。間に合いましたね。
Instructor, Asuka. Once we arrived at the bridge, we heard the instructor and Asuka's voices.
朝香お前はこいつらを引き連れて橋を渡れ。そしてそのまま街道まで死に物狂いで走れ。聞こえたろう。さっさと走れ。
はい。
That's not what he said. He didn't say what do you.
ほらパシュお前もだ。ぼさっと突っ立ってるんじゃない。
わかったよ。そんなの言われなくても逃げるっつうの。
It was an old wooden bridge, narrow enough for just two to cross side by side. We crossed it and waited on the other side for the instructor to come back. He's not coming, is he? The sound of his was drawing near. Instructor Leonida stared into the darkness, unwilling to move.
おい、早くこっち来いよ。何を突っ立ってんだよ。
I know, don't make an instructor sacrifice himself. Like, go use the cursed sword. He's awake.
そうだな。
Instructor gave a quiet smile. He pulled his hip flask from beneath his coat. Well, he only drinks that in victory.
教官、お酒なんて飲んでる場合じゃないですよ。何やっ
Instructor? Is it special alcohol? The instructor suddenly splashed the liquor across the bridge. Oh. Didn't understand why he was doing that. He's gonna light it on fire.
おい、 わけわかんねえことやってないで早くこっちに
He is going to sacrifice himself to save his students. And you have a cursed sword awake. I don't understand. Igor. The man that emerged from the darkness was unmistakably Igor.
いたな、小娘。
教官早くこっちに。
我々の期待を裏切らずに罠にかかってくれて嬉しいぞ。
教官
He's over there just smirking. It was like, Suddenly, blue and orange flames erupted, sparking an explosion. The flames spread rapidly and started to consume the bridge.
おい
The flame stood between us and him. It blazed hotter, lighting up the night sky. The old wooden bridge began to burn, parts charring and breaking away.
ああ、よかった。想像以上に景気よく燃えてるな。
Why are they gonna give us this image? I didn't like him, but I mean, heroic figures always get me. The sacrifice for others and him looking over his shoulder while the bridge burns is gonna make me cry. Instructor then took a swig from his hip flask. Instructor Leonidas.
これで飲み納めかと思うと寂しいな。
おい
愚かな真似を。
I know, like, just use the cursed sword. Well, I would have taken care of everything.
そうかな。これでも一応あいつらの上官なんでね。
The flames roared on, the darkness turned a fiery orange, and the crackling grew louder than the river. The bridge was weakened, its wooden frame exposed. It was unlikely to support even one person, let alone a horse.
朝香頼んだぞ。
Not to Pash. Pash made a bad choice.
嫌です。嘘ですよね。まさか僕たちだけ逃がそうなんて考えてないですよね。
ラン魔剣に飲まれるなよ。
Instructor.
お前は筋は悪くない。あと1年真面目に鍛錬を続けたら朝香やラスティンくらいには追いつける。ああ、そうそう。ユリアナにもしっかりやれよって伝えてくれ。
No. No, instructor.
危ない
Ah. Oh my goodness. Flames surged like a beast and blocked my path. The air scorched my skin and burned as I breathed, preventing me from advancing.
おい何やってんだよふざけたことしてないでこっち来いよ。
パシ、お前は早く吹っ切れ。
Get over it.
大丈夫だよ。お前はお前でちゃんと強いよ。
何言って。
自信を持て。お前に足らないのはそれだけだ。
うるせえつまんねえことほざいてないでいいから早く来いよ。あんた上官だろ。俺たち連れて逃げろよ。
朝香、そのバカたちを連れてけ。
You know, it's nice of Igor to let you just sit here and talk to them while the bridge burns.
おい
I always thought about that whenever they do stuff like this, lasting moments when there's an enemy facing them down. The enemy's just sitting there, letting them have their monologue while they you know, cry and die.
教官。
嫌だ
Pash?
いいから逃げろよ早く
本当にうるさいガキだなお前は。
You really are noisy.
うるせえ
俺は騒々しいやつが大嫌いなんだよパシュ。だからお前たちはまだまだこっちには来るなよ。
Yet? What do you mean yet? Instructor.
勘違いするな。別にお前たちを助けるわけじゃない。
I'm so confused. What is he talking about?
俺の命よりもその魔剣の方が重い。ただそれだけのことだ。
Oh my goodness. It's gonna... Fine. Oh, now he's like, I'm not saving you. I'm just protecting something else. I've said several times that these scenes go on way too long. Like, they've already said their goodbyes. Everyone's crying, and now they're talking about the Chris sword.
こいつらの手には渡せない。絶対にな。
Instructor, I'll fight too.
ダメだ。魔剣の力が不安定な以上、それは許さない。
But
貴様
I know, now that the bridge is all the way burnt, now you're gonna act.
行け！長官の命令が聞けないのか！
Ah,
やだ。こんな。
いいか！これが俺の最後の命令だ！絶対に生きてニルバーナに戻れ！
ふざけんな。くそ。了解しました。
Saka?
僕たちは必ず戻ります。教官の武運長久をお祈り。行きますよみんな。
まさかてめえ見捨てんのかよ。
うるさい。命令は守らないといけない。
やだこんなの嘘だ。やだ
Saka grabbed Pash and me by the arm. I didn't want to leave that place. Blazing flames illuminated the area and the night resembled a day. The roar of the flames drowned out all other sounds. Beyond the flickering flames, Instructor Leonidas wielded his sword happily.
バカ野郎
He used to believe that we would all return to Nirvana together. No one left behind until that moment. My heart felt empty, yet I detested how strikingly beautiful the morning sun was. Dawn broke, slowly repainting the sky.
ついさっきレオニダスの遺体と思われるものを回収した。損傷がかなりひどいが、残っている衣服の切れ端から見てほぼ間違いない。奴は死んだ。
嘘つくな
パシュ。
あんな偉そうなやつが死ぬわけないだろう。ああいうのは絶対に命根性汚いんだ。逃げたに決まってる。死ぬなんてそんなバカなことするはずないだろう。
He ran and ran and ran with tears, and we all joined the Dagoth army. Whether they saw the army's size and retreat or it was part of their plan, the Romulan soldiers disappeared.
あいつは俺たちのことなんて嫌いだったし、かばうとかそんなことするはずないじゃん。今頃どこかに隠れて酒飲みながら俺たちのことを笑って見て、きっと先にニルヴァーナに戻って
じゃあ奴と対面するかい。その目で確かめて偽物って言ってやりな。
うっせえ鬼ババア。
パーシュ、
死ぬわけないんだ。絶対に死ぬわけ。
Aww.
嘘だー。
I feel so bad for him. Like, so even though it is dragging out a little bit, the fact that Pash disobeyed and didn't do what was expected of him, he's probably blaming himself fiercely for this. I used to believe that we would all return to Nirvana together. No one left behind, but that was no longer possible when I saw one of us fall.
嘘だ嘘だ嘘だ嘘だ。死ぬわけない。絶対死ぬわけない。くそ、俺は信じない。絶対あんなムカつくやつがあんな俺たちのことを。
Pash. I realized I was crying too. I couldn't tell if these tears were mine or Pash's. I couldn't accept that we had lost Instructor Leonidas, that we would never see him again.
何やってんだよ。俺たちのことなんて助けなくてよかったんだよ。何いい格好しようとしてんだよ。そんなのあんたに似合わない。柄にもないことすんなよ。迷惑だ。迷惑。くそ。くそ。俺は絶対に信じないからな。こんなことで死ぬようなやつじゃないって俺は分かってるからな。くそ。酒。今すぐ戻ってこいよ。
The sunrise was irritatingly majestic, a soft haze draped over the mountains reflecting pale purple and orange hues. It was a quietly breathtaking sky. Despite our injuries and fatigue, the sun kept rising to signal daybreak. The refreshing light made me doubt if the night's events were just a nightmare. The morning was that tranquil and stunning. All I had done was believe. I had assumed we would all return together. I never doubted our victory. But nothing in the world was that convenient. There it is. His guilt.
俺があんなことしなければ。俺が 俺が
No, Pash, this is my fault. If only I could fight. If only you did fight. Like, Wilhelm was there. He said to fight. Those were my honest feelings. Wilhelm was awake back then. I had the chance to fight, but it turned out this way because I ran. It's my fault. Because I couldn't fight. My eyes, cheeks, and throat burned. My legs were so heavy I couldn't move. All that remained in my heart was despair.
"では、君たち、最後の挨拶を。
Oh, we're in the cemetery below the school. Instructor Leonidas' funeral was held 2 days after our return. His body was cremated and the ashes were placed into a casket sitting at the front. We each put a white lily on the stone table. Of course, no one spoke. Everyone looked somber as they placed their flower. I waited for my turn, recalling what Nikkei had said before. Did you picture us not making it? Since we can't see death itself, we never know when it's already upon us. Yeah, I couldn't see it. No one knew that we would lose Instructor Leonidas until the very last second. Such an idiot. I had lost my father in the war. My village was destroyed, leaving nothing. The emotional wounds had scabbed over, the pain had lessened, and the memory had slowly faded. But now it was all brought back to me. I was reminded that the battlefield was not just a place of victory. It was also a place where we could lose someone dear. As I wrapped my head around that fact, I felt like I lost vital emotional support. I was unable to find my footing.
バカじゃねえの。何やってんだよ、おっさん。俺は感謝なんてしてないからな。
パシュ、
勝手なことすんな。迷惑だ。迷惑だ。
Pash. I tried to follow him, but realized I still held my lily in my hand. I didn't know what to say even if I did catch up to him. I walked up to the coffin to offer the lily. Instructor, thank you for everything. I wasn't sure if those were the right words, but the instructor had protected us, putting our lives above his own. We could talk about ideals and wanting to act for others. But actually doing so was another story.
全員挨拶は済ませたかな。
We all nodded in response to Instructor Alias.
では、これにて解散とする。各自速やかにそれぞれの教室に移動するように。
We still have 2 more choices. One of the choices is chase after him. I thought this was going to be it, but apparently not. They're probably still coming up. He's probably going to run off somewhere else. Classes resumed in the afternoon as usual, but understandably everyone was quiet. The usual lively chatter and rumors were missing, though there were never comforting. I kind of missed them. After class, there were about 2 hours until dinner, so Yuriana and I decided to chat over tea as usual. And ever since we returned, we only spoke when necessary. It wasn't because we argued, we just didn't feel like talking. Yuriana. I looked up from my book and noticed Yuriana staring at her spear on the wall. Is something wrong?
ああ、ごめん。なんだか、まだ現実にいる気がしなくて。
Yeah, I know. Yuriana smiled bitterly as she ran her hand over her spear.
尊敬してたとか、 特に慕ってたとか、正直そんな風に思ったことはなくて。ああ、この人は厳しいんだなって。まあ、そういう教官もいるよねって。それくらい。でも、今にして思えば、間違ったことは一つも言ってなくて。ある意味、一番優しかったかもね。戦場は甘くないって、憧れで行くところじゃないって言ってたのにね。本当だったね。
Yuriana.
バカだったよね、私たち。いつでも勝てるって思ってたよね。誰も死なないって思ってたよね。
Tears started to well up when Yuriana echoed my thoughts. I knew it wasn't just us, everyone must have thought the same thing.
何も分かってなかったね。武器を取って戦うって、そういうことだよね。
Yuriana glanced at her spear again.
そんなこと考えたら、今度また戦が起こった時に、私ちゃんと戦えるかなって。なんてね。戦うのが私たちの役目なのに、こんなこと言ってる場合じゃないよね。
I couldn't respond, nor could I nod.
あ、そろそろだね。食堂行こう。
Yeah. After dinner, I went to the courtyard alone. My heart was heavy, as if stuffed with stones, suffocating me. No one mentioned the instructor anymore. The classes he taught were cancelled until a new instructor could be appointed. It was posted on the bulletin board that some would be taught by instructor Alias. Life at Nirvana didn't change even after what happened, but I couldn't move past it.
Oh.
I hadn't expected to see Pash there. As a matter of fact, I came out to the courtyard because I wanted to be alone. Strangely, Pash's face brought me a sense of solace.
もう飯は食べた。
Yeah, what about you, Pash?
食べた。
Oh.
うん。
I didn't know what else to say, but I felt too sad to just walk away. I never had trouble finding something to talk with Pash about before. He would always talk to me with a cheerful demeanor. But he was different now. Those glittering, soft green eyes were nowhere to be found. He awkwardly turned his eyes away and refused to look directly at me. His innocent, wide smile, once shining and bright, was gone. Pash cried the entire time on the battlefield that morning. He kept on blaming himself for it, and I also blamed myself.
ごめん。
Oh, now he's running. I'm gonna stay here first. Pash went off, and I didn't chase after him. What now? What do I do? I crashed down on the grass. I wondered, would the pain and suffering heal in time? Even if it wasn't right away, could it eventually form a scab like it did with my dad and Oxir village?
おい
I know, right? He has every right to be upset. Let's go back and see if I can catch this up. Oh. No. I chase after him? Pash, wait. I reflexively ran after him. Pash. He should have been able to hear me, but Pash didn't stop. He didn't even look back. I stopped, standing still. I couldn't see Pash anymore. Now what? What do I do? Alright, let's go back to Wilhelm.
おい
I gasped and looked up.
お前にちょっと言いたいことがあるんだよ。
Wilhelm, when did you wake up?
今と言いたいところだけど、 この間からどうも目覚めが悪いっつうか不眠っつうか、とにかくイラついて。
Irritates.
お前のせいだよ。
It's my fault?
この間どうして戦わなかったんだよ。俺あの時にやれって言ったな。聞こえてたよな。
You did say that, and I did hear you.
じゃあなんで逃げたんだよ。怖かったとか言うなよな。お前戦うためにあそこに行ったんだろ。
I wasn't scared.
それなのに逃げたのかよ。
Wilhelm,
この俺様がさ、お前のために一肌脱いでやろうってその気持ちを無駄にしたんだぞ。
yeah, I know.
確かにお前の中に入ったのは事故みたいなもんで、お前も気に入らないのかもしれないけどさ、戦えないやつの中に入ってても仕方ないだろ。俺は不要だろ。
Wait, that's not true.
お前がそのつもりなら俺も少し考えないといけないからさ。
Huh? What do you mean?
お前の中から消えるってことだよ。
Wilhelm?
まあとにかく伝えたからな。じゃあな。
Bye. He's like, see you later. I couldn't hear Wilhelm's voice anymore. Wilhelm? Wilhelm. You could always talk to me so suddenly. I had no idea how you heard my voice. That's not what I meant. Goodbye. Before, he couldn't leave voluntarily. He had to exhaust his power, which would cause him to disappear. I actually forgot how I left in Lustin's route. I think it was the same way. With the I think it was the same way, but it was disguised as him leaving. But he did use his power, I think, at the very end. And I think Kikora knew this too, because this was discussed in front of her. Excuse me.
ああ、来たね。ご苦労様。
I remembered this place. This was my first time here since that day, but only Instructor Alias was here today.
ここは君にとってあまりいい思い出のある場所ではないと思うが、決まりなのでね。
It's fine. Instructor Alias showed kindness and concern for me just like that time I came here. I was completely unaware before, but now I was sure that he was supportive of me. Though that could no longer be the case depending on my answers.
君をここに呼んだのは、先の任務についてだ。
Yes.
第5隊と後から合流した浅香率いる第3隊の生徒には、すでに全員話を聞いている。君が最後だ。
Yes.
まだそれほど時間が経ったわけではない。感情的にならずに話してくれというのも難しいかもしれないが、できるだけ心を冷静に保ち、質問に答えてほしい。
Yes.
戦闘開始時に君の魔剣から青い光が放たれたということは、何名もの生徒の目撃もあり、確かだ。その後、戦闘終了まで結局、魔剣はやはり眠ったままだったのだろうか。
My leg started to shake. Instructor Alias was looking at me kindly, but I didn't want to be here any longer. No. Wilhelm was awake. I don't know if he woke up to my call, but we did exchange words.
その状態での戦闘は、
I was afraid to speak. I knew how much of a coward I was, so I hated that I still wanted self-preservation.
状況を正しく把握したいだけだ。安心してくれ。
There was... I tightly clenched my fist. My hands were still shaking. There was no fighting. I was too focused on running away, so...
なるほど。それはやはり、ロムア軍と対峙するのは危険と、君自身が判断したせいだろうか。それとも、パッシュからの命令だったのだろうか。
Hearing his name stirred my heart. Does that mean, depending on my answer, Pash could be blamed? At this moment, I finally realized how frightening the military structure could be. The mistakes of my actions could be made Pash's responsibility. Instructor, it's not Pash's fault. I didn't fight back then because it reminded me of my village and I got scared. I was the one who gave up the fight. It isn't Pash's responsibility. It's true that Pash said fleeing was the top priority, but I could have defeated Igor if I had a stronger heart. Then maybe Instructor Leonidas wouldn't have had to die. I should have faced Igor.
君は勇ましいのか臆病なのかわからないな。
Sorry, what?
それとも知らないという強さなのかな。ロムアのイゴールといえば、国王ロジオンの右腕として我々の間では有名な男だ。おいそれと撃とうなどとは思えない相手なのだが、それを君は当然のように口にする。
Well, the cursed sword would have made it an easy feat. No,
君がパシュを案じるその気持ちもわかる。こちらとしても彼を罰するために動いているわけではない。今回の件に関しては、正直私も判断が難しい。
Instructor.
出陣前に君にも話したろ。パシュには彼の判断で動くことが認められていたわけで、そこに罰は発生しない。では、その判断が正しかったのか。彼の考えた作戦ももちろん有効だったと思う。成功していれば、パシュは英雄になれたろう。ただ、それ以上にロムアの張った罠が巧妙だったのだ。
Instructor Alias frowned deeply, sighing slightly.
ロムアはすでにシンザとルアンを掌握していた。そしてその二国の戦いと見せかけ、こちらをおびき出した。ロムアの一番の狙いは、こちらの戦力を可能な限り削ぐことだったと考えている。君を手に入れることが最優先なら、最悪、城下で無防備な君を誘拐なりすればいい。それをしないのは、魔剣に関して様子見もあるはずだ。残念ながら、魔剣が不安定ということも広まりつつあるからね。
I guess so.
その上で、もし君が何かの作戦で他の隊から離れることがあったら、運よく見つけることができたなら、捕らえようという考えだったのではないだろうか。
The instructor's words made me want to fall to the floor. When I got separated from Abel's company, I thought that they might be trying to pull us apart. But I dismissed it. I should have known better.
ただ、別の見方をすれば、君たちが引きつけてくれたおかげで、アベルたちは比較的楽に正面突破できた。こちらは貴重な戦力をほとんど損なわずに済んだとも言える。
He used the word minimal. The meaning of the word was so heavy it made me speechless. It wasn't that we had no losses. There were sacrifices for sure.
ラン、君はさっき戦わなかったのは怖くなったからと言ったね。
Yes.
それが一番の問題なのだ。もちろん恐怖はついて回る。恐怖のない戦闘などこの世界にはない。そしてできるなら私もキオラ様も君にはこのまま頑張ってほしいと思っている。だが戦えない者はあの場には不要なのだ。
Instructor.
君が真面目に鍛錬に取り組んでいることももちろん知っている。努力していない、熱意が足りないとは全く思っていない。
But you can't freeze on battlefield.
それでも恐怖が戦場で君を惑わせるなら、今後の対応を検討しなければならない。こちらから伝えたいことは以上だ。君から何かあるかな？
I wondered if the instructor would understand if I described my confusion in detail. No, that's just an excuse. I swallowed the words I was about to say. No, there isn't.
そうか。では戻ってよろしい。
Yes, thank you for your time. I wandered over to the port for no particular reason. If anything, I just wanted to see the ocean. I don't deserve to be here, huh? Strangely, I wasn't discouraged by that. I understood why he said it. I was fully aware that I hesitated to fight while in the middle of a battlefield.
ああ、いたいた。ここだったか。
I was gazing out at the sea when I noticed Lady Ignis approaching quickly. Thank you for the other day. I wasn't sure how else to greet her. We had just returned from the battlefield a few days ago.
ああ、そういう挨拶はいいよ。お互い、辛いだろう。今日はレオニダスに花を供えに来たのと、あんたとパシュが大丈夫かなって思ってね。他のやつらはまあ、落ち込みをしてもそのうち持ち直すと思うけど、あんたたちは特に落ち込んでるようだったからね。
I'm sorry.
今のは何に詫びたんだい？あの場で二人で号泣したことかい？
Bawling at the scene.
それとも自分のせいでレオニダスが死んだのかもなんて思ってるってことかい？まあそんなことだろうと思ったけどね。
Lady Ignis,
おや、ちょうどいいところにあいつがいるじゃないか。
huh? Oh.
おいパシュ、ちょっとこっち来な。逃げるんじゃないよ。
Pash was standing in front of a warehouse.
パシュ！
Lady Ignis yelled even louder. Pash shrugged exaggeratedly and dragged his feet over.
なんでここにいるんだよ。
友人の墓に花を供えに来ちゃ悪いのかい？それとみんながあんたのこと心配してるからね。様子見に来てやったんだよ。というか、まあ要するに説教だね。
A lecture.
はあ？
この間はまだはっきり状況がわからなかったけど、今さっきエリアスに全部聞いた。パシュ、この間のはお前の指示だったそうだね。なぜあんな真似したんだい？私に黙秘権なんて通用すると思ってるの？
うっせえ！
説明しな、パシュ。一体どんな判断であんな行動を取ったんだい？
それは。
Okay, first we're going to do watching silence. Pash. I wanted to stop Lady Ignis, but like with Instructor Elias, any explanation from me would just sound like an excuse. I stayed silent instead.
パシュ、答えられないなら今日この場であんたの武器を剥奪するよ。
Oh my goodness, she can take your weapon. Lady Ignis.
イルダス様とエバス様からその許可はいただいている。というより命令に近い。お前の状況次第ではニルバーナからの強制除籍およびダグロートからの無期限追放もやむを得ない。
Oh my goodness. Exile him because he didn't what? He didn't find he was supposed to seek some kind of protection and and prove himself or something. But Lady Ignis, that's too much.
最終手段だよ。 そうなるかどうかは全部こいつの態度次第だね。
I think we can go up. I think they would say this regardless of what we chose, so.
それは
I'm gonna stop her. Please wait, Lady Ignis. Don't blame Pash. The enemy's rear lines were wide open at the time. If Igor hadn't shown up, Pash's plan would have worked.
でも出てきたわけだ。パシュ、答えられないなら。
Yes, we've seen all that. What is your answer?
さあ、パシュ。答えな。
相変わらずムカつくな。この鬼ババ。
That's not an answer. Pash.
私を罵倒するのに、それしか単語を知らないのかい？お前に罵られたところで痛くも痒くもないんだよ、こっちは。パシュ。
うるせえな。分かっててわざわざ聞いてるんだろ。本当に性格悪いな。そうだよ。親父たちが想像してる通りだよ。俺のつまんねえ意地だよ。アベルより目立ちたかったんだよ。あの場所で誰よりも目立って手柄をあげたかったんだよ。だからアベルの言うことに逆らって勝手に動かしたんだ。そしてその結果があのざまだ。俺がレオニダスを殺したんだよ。こう言えば満足かよ。
Lady Ignis. A loud thud made me flinch.
相変わらずガキのままだね。
Dang, he just hit him with those metal gauntlets. Lady Ignis.
このてめえ。
Ash wiped the blood from his lip and glared at Lady Ignis.
できればその言葉は聞きたくなかったね。自分の作戦の勝利を信じてたって言ってほしかったよ。これじゃレオニダスも浮かばれないよ。
うるせえよ。
Lady Ignis, please don't blame Pash. I share the blame as well. Pash, you too. Don't put it that way. You said we needed to surprise the enemy. Why change your story now?
今のが本音だよ。
もう片方も引っ叩いた方がいいかい。
Lady Ignis, her eyes, a piercing emerald, glared sharply at Pash.
詳細な状況も確認できた。あいつはあんたたちと一緒に逃げることもできた。でもそれをしなかった。なぜかわかるかい？イゴールが率いる精鋭部隊の頭数を一人でも減らそうとしたんだよ。近いうちに本格的に刃を交えることになるであろう。あんたたちのためにね。
うるせえよ。そんなの言われなくたって分かってるよ。
Pash.
俺に言いたいことはこれで終わりかよ、鬼ババ。気が済んだならさっさとニルバーナに戻ってエリアスに話つけてこいよ。
Now he's calling her an ogre hag.
そうしたら俺は消えてやるよ。ダグロートにはもう二度と戻らないから安心しろ。
Leaving this place. I missed something. Okay, he's gonna go back and see Alias and he's gonna leave on his own. Pash, what are you talking about? Wait, Pash.
放っておきな。
She grabbed me firmly by the shoulder. Lady Ignis.
仕方ない。 これで本当に戦えなくなるような弱い男などダグロートにはいらない。
Huh? He doesn't belong. It must have been a coincidence, but it had reminded me of what Instructor Alias said. No. I didn't belong either, and neither did Pash.
それよりもあんたはどうなの？これから先もちゃんと戦う覚悟はあるのかい？もし怖いなら、迷いがあるなら、これ以上はやめた方がいい。
Can you imagine if like the last chapter was them spent out of the school? There's only one chapter left, and then there's 2 chapters left, and then the endings. But can you imagine like they both quit, and where does it go from there?
あんたには同情してる。魔剣にいきなりひっつかれたり、村のことがあったりで過酷な運命を背負わされた子だなと思ってる。その上、今回が実質上の初陣で、そこであんなものを体験してショックを受けるなって方が無理な話だ。でもね、これが現実なんだよ。次に死ぬのは私かもしれないし、あんたかもしれない。パシュかもしれない。誰が死ぬかわからない。そういう場所だ。大丈夫なのかい？
I wanted to say that I was. That was what I should have said, but I couldn't.
そうか。
Lady Ignis.
無理はしなくていい。魔剣があるとはいえ、そんな気持ちで戦場に立ったらやられるだけだ。それで魔剣が東に渡りでもしたら、目も当てられないだろう。今回の件で西側に火がついたのは確かだ。必ず近いうちにロムアとやり合うことになる。あんたがその戦場に立ちたいと心から望むのでなければ、もう降りた方がいい。
Lady Ignis. Yes, we know what her name is. Can you say something different? I couldn't help but shout out loud. The formidable yet stunning woman looked as if she had given up on me.
まあ、さすがに今日明日にまた戦ってことはない。自分の心を覗き込んで、自分と相談しな。
After speaking, Lady Ignis gave a melancholy smile.
じゃあ、また。これがあんたと会う最後にならないように祈っておくよ。
I don't think Lon said a single thing to her besides her name and like half a sentence. And she's just going on and on and on, and this girl doesn't even respond to her. See, still nothing. I knew those words were her way of showing care, but depending on my decision, we might never meet again. Think about it. I pondered her advice, standing still as the world moved around me. At least in the other game that I'm playing, the main character actually speaks. She has a voice. Next chapter, what they found. Kinda hoping she'd get captured. Like, Pash's story is halfway through the game. Once I finish it, it'll be halfway done. But Lan just, like, doesn't have any personality. All her dialogue is mostly inner conflict, and she doesn't say hardly anything out loud. She barely has any lines. Like, I don't know. It's very hard to get through this game when the main character is just, I don't know. She's kind of mindless, actually. Anyway, I am enjoying the other game, though. I'm gonna push through this just because it is halfway done already, so at least all the other characters have like tons of lines. And I guess the upside to not having a lot of lines is I don't have to read, because I have to edit out a lot of like misread stuff, especially towards the end of the episode. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, and my tongue is a little sore. I don't know why. It's just sore from brushing up against my teeth. and I've been drinking stuff, but my throat's still dry, so having not very many lines is fine. I don't have a lot to say in between either. Just a lot of just listening to them ramble on. Anyway, that's it for this chapter. There's still 2 more left. Pash's chapter 8 is going to have 2 save files in it, and then chapter 9 has no choices in it at all. And then there'll be the endings video and his short stories, or I forgot what they're called, reports. I wonder if it's going to be Lustin. We haven't been to a report where it's been the other roommate, so now that we've done Lustin and Pash was the one making the report on Lustin, I wonder if Lustin's going to be vice person. I wonder if his inner dialogue is going to be his surface thoughts when it comes to Pash for the first time. Probably how he's just going to sneak out at night and avoid him. Anyway, if you guys did enjoy, drop a like down below and or subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.